After discussion of equity share, let's come up to the next source of business finance, that is preference shares. The capital raised by issue of preference shares is called preference share capital. The preference shareholders enjoy a preferential rights over equity shareholders in two ways. Number one, they receive a fixed rate of dividend out of the net profits of the company before distribution of dividend to equity shareholders. They receive their capital at the time of liquidation after the claim of company's creditor but before the claim of equity shareholders. So, preference shares are those shares which having preferential right to accept the dividend at the time of declaration and for the repayment of capital on winding up of the business. They have no special right and privilege in the company. That means they don't enjoy the voting rights and participate in the management affairs of the company. In other words, as compared to the equity shareholders, the preference shareholders have a preferential claim over dividend and repayment of capital, but they do not exercise control over the company's management affairs and don't enjoy the voting rights in any kind of decisions. Let's see some of the features of preference shares. Capital raised through the issue of preference shares, that means it is a very important source of raising funds after equity shares. They enjoy preferential right to receive the dividend and for repayment of capital at the time of liquidation. They get fixed rate of return. That means the rate of their dividend is fixed. And at the time of getting higher profits by the company, they get fixed rate of return. They don't enjoy any voting right and special privileges. They bear less risk and less rate of return as compared to equity shareholders. Let's discuss some of the advantages of preference shares. Steady income. Number 2, low risk. Third one, absolute control to equity shareholders. Fourth one, preferential rights, no charge against property. So number 1 is steady income. Preference shares provide reasonably steady income in the form of fixed rate of return. Thus, preference shares are useful for those investors who want fixed rate of return. Next one is low risk. As preference shares are preferred by those investors who don't want to bear more risk because they want fixed rate of return. That's why they bear comparatively low risk as it provides fixed return. Next one is absolute control to equity shareholders. It does not affect the control of equity shareholders over the management, as preference shareholders don't have voting right and they don't enjoy participation in the company's management affairs. So they don't affect the control of equity shareholders over the management, as they don't enjoy any kind of participation and exercise control. Next one is preferential rights. Preference shareholders have a preferential right of repayment over equity shareholder in the event of liquidation. Liquidation means wind up of a company, and for getting the dividend at the time of declaration. So every year, when after preparation of final account, declaration of profit, at the time of declaration of profit, preference shares get preference right of getting profit. Next, no charge against property. Preference capital does not create any kind of charge against the assets of a company. Alright, now next see next source of fund, that is ADR. ADR stands for American Depository Receipts. The depository receipts issued by a company in the USA are known as American Depository Receipts. Features of ADRs are These are US dollar denominated security. These are listed on any American stock exchange. No right to vote in the company. That means holder of ADRs don't have right to vote in the company. They have right to get only dividend. ADRs are bought and sold in American markets like regular stocks. ADR is similar to a GDR except that it can be issued only to American citizens. ADR can be listed and traded on a stock exchange of USA only. Next one is global depository receipts. The local currency shares of a company are delivered to a depository bank. The depository bank issues depository receipts against these shares. Such depository receipts denominated in US dollars are known as global depository receipts. That means GDR. It is a negotiable instrument and can be traded freely like any other security. In the Indian context, a GDR is an instrument issued abroad by an Indian company to raise funds in some foreign currency and is listed and traded on a foreign stock exchange. A holder of GDR can at any time convert it into a number of shares it represents. The holders of GDRs do not carry any voting rights but only dividends and capital appreciation. There is one more important security in this regard, that is Indian Depository Receipts, which is known as IDR. An Indian Depository Receipt is a financial instrument denominated in Indian rupees in the form of depository receipt. It is created by an Indian depository to enable a foreign company to raise funds from the Indian security market. The IDR is a specific Indian version of the similar global depository receipts. The foreign company issuing IDR deposits shares to an Indian depository custodian of security registered with the Security and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI. In turn, the depository issues receipts to investors in India against these shares. The benefit of the underlying shares like bonus, dividend, etc. accrue to the IDR holders in India. According to SEBI guidelines, the IDRs are issued to Indian residents in the same way as domestic shares are issued. The issuer company makes a public offer in India and residents can bid in exactly the same format and method as they bid for Indian shares. Next one is retained earnings. It is another very important source of raising finance internally. This is an internal source of fund. A company generally does not distribute all its retained earnings, amongst the shareholders as dividends. A portion of the net earnings may be saved in the business for use in the future. This is known as retained earnings. It is a source of internal financing or self-financing or plowing back of profits. The profit available for plowing back in an organization depends on many factors like net profits, dividend policy, and age of the organization. Let's see some of the features of retained earning. It is a source of internal financing or self-financing or plowing back of profit. Retained earning is a permanent source of funds available in an organization. It does not involve any explicit cost in form of interest, dividend or flotation cost. So it is called cost-free fund. As a fund are generated internally, there is a greater degree of operational freedom and flexibility. It enhances the capacity of the business to absorb unexpected losses. It may lead to increase the market price of the equity shares of a company.